All the pastas can be sticky.
Grumpy, grumpy.
E pasta barilla è al dente.
It's always firm yet tender.
Springy, springy.
Capito?
And now Barilla is imported to America.
The best of the pasta.
Barilla pasta, #1 in Italy, al dente is why.
Very, very good.
The sale you've been waiting for. Macy's Opportunity Days. Great names, great selection, great prices. Our exclusive knits, shorts, tees, and more, 25% off. All bras from Warner's, Bally, Maidenform, Olga, 30% off. The coolest sundresses, Palazzos, $59.99. Men's pure cotton dress shirts now $29.99. Tools of the trade open stock, $19.99 and $24.99. Store-wide savings. Macy's Opportunity Days. Now through Wednesday.
Is your check in the mail safe from thieves? Watch the next current affair.
Now, live on Day and Date, actress Robin Wright has a terrifying run-in with a carjacker. Find out how the star escaped and how you can too. We've got your crime survival guide straight from a cop who knows. We're going inside the OR for an amazing operation. See how they're separating the conjoined twins. It's a marvelous look at a miracle. She found the man of her dreams. Now she's marrying him for the second time. Don't miss the remarkable romantic tale of a woman with amnesia and a man who waited for her love again.
I made a vow before God, and until death do us part, and I wasn't about to leave.
The burning flames, the searing heat, the scorching job of firefighter. Meet the men and women who put their lives on the line to save yours.
The biggest rush is saving a life.
This is Day and Date for Thursday, May 30, 1996. Live from New York City with Dana King and Patrick Van Horn.
Good afternoon, everybody. A carjacking in Los Angeles is proof once again that no one is safe, not even the rich and famous.
Actress Robin Wright and her 2 children are the latest victims of a terrifying carjack.
Last night at approximately 8:12 p.m., Santa Monica Police Department received a radio call of an armed robbery carjacking that just occurred in the 700 block of 17th Street. The victim was Robin Wright.
Moviegoers may remember Robin Wright as the kidnapped princess, but last night was no fairy tale for the Princess Bride when the wife of Sean Penn was carjacked outside of their Santa Monica home. Wright told police that 2 teens came up to her and demanded she get out of her car. She did. The carjackers sped off. This afternoon, police played the tape of Robin's call to 911.
How old was he? He could be 18, 19. 18 to 19 years of age. You could tell it was the first time he did it, but I didn't want to risk it. I felt like he walked up, thanks. I felt like he walked up thinking, oh, well, we were going to break into the house.
Soon after Wright called police, they found her car and caught 2 teenage suspects after chasing them down on foot. Wright was not injured. This attack comes at a time when Wright seems to have all the right stuff in both her personal life and career. She recently wed Penn, her longtime mate and father of their 2 kids, after a stormy 8-year relationship. And Robin recently told Day and Date about living life in the public spotlight.
Their privacy is invaded, and that's really difficult.
Robin, already getting buzz for her upcoming film Moll Flanders and still riding high from her role in the Oscar-winning Forrest Gump, isn't the only celebrity to confront a carjacker. Just a few weeks ago, primetime star Leah Thompson dodged an attempted carjacking. Last summer, rapper Queen Latifah was carjacked in New York City. And 3 years ago, former Family Ties star Meredith Baxter was carjacked in Beverly Hills. And now, Robin Wright is the latest celebrity crime victim.
To find out that somebody got carjacked, especially Robin or something like that, that's like amazing for this neighborhood.
Wright and her husband Sean Penn went to the police precinct and identified the suspects. The 18-year-old suspect in the carjacking is Dacary Williams. He's being held at the Santa Monica jail on $100,000 bail. The 16-year-old suspect was transported to juvenile hall pending a court hearing. They were both booked and charged with armed robbery and carjacking.
Well, what do you do when someone points a gun in your face and says, get out of your car? One ex-police sergeant has the real deal on how not to be a victim of any kind of crime.
Sherry's life was worth $40 to this man. It wasn't worth any more than that, because that's what she withdrew from the ATM.
Sharon Foreman's daughter was brutally stabbed and killed at this ATM in California. Sherry was an aspiring singer, 29 years old, 3 months pregnant. Her dad says she could have been saved.
Grabbed her purse and she wouldn't let go. He had the knife out. And she would let go of the purse, he would have ran off.
What should Sherry have done? If someone pulled a knife on you, demanding your purse or wallet, what would you do?
Give your property, bolt and run.
Sanford Strong is a former cop who wrote a new book about how to survive violent crime. Taking immediate action, he says, could mean the difference between life and death.
You have to be able to fall back on that survival mindset.
Strong's advice, prepare mentally to be a victim. Always be thinking. Have a plan of action ready just in case.
Everything else is paralyzing, and people are shuddering with fear. You fall back on rules. Cops learn it. Citizens can learn it. It just requires simple survival rules.
Take a look at this reenactment. What would you do?
Do what I say and you won't get hurt.
You might be saying, I'd obey my attacker. But Strong says no. Resist him. Fight to escape. Why? Well, in a public place, you still have a chance. You might get hurt, but don't give the criminal a chance to force you to an isolated spot.
If they're going to shoot right there, they're going to shoot. So see yourself at the crime scene, expecting to get hurt, and see yourself responding. See yourself running away.
They just kept screaming, "I'll kill you, man. I'm going to kill you. I'll kill you, man." That's all we heard the whole time that they were in the house.
It was a night Sharon Blaze will never forget. Safe in her Florida home with her husband, their children sleeping. Suddenly, 2 armed robbers bust down the door.
The thought of my 5-year-old getting up the next morning and finding us went through my mind.
Intruders come into a home, and if they attack you, let alone handcuff you, you're not going to be able to help your children.
But Strong says you and your family still have a chance if you've rehearsed an escape plan. One idea? Give your children a code word so they know when to run for help.
If you don't train your children ahead of time how to respond and save themselves, you're not going to be in a position to save them.
The bottom line?
You can't escape all the violence and all the crime in this country, but you sure can lessen it.
And with us now for more tips on keeping you and your family safe from crime is former Police Sergeant Sanford Strong, who's live in San Diego. Thank you for joining us. You know, Sergeant, I weigh 125 pounds. I'm not that strong. Someone comes at me with a gun.
You don't need to be big and you don't need to be strong, Dana.
Well, I'm going to fight with someone who has a gun?
You're not going to be fighting with them. Quit thinking about terms of, and your viewers as well, that got to overpower them, fight with them, or struggle with them. That's the martial arts approach to the gym and studios, and that's overpowering people. You need to, from inside, explode with survival decisions that get you out of there. All of us, you, me, I don't care the age, within reason age. We all have the power to explode and immediately respond. As you've heard me say also, the crucial first few seconds are what decides usually their response, doing or not doing something, and who lives and who dies at violent crime scenes.
So explode how?
Explode. Let's go back to the Robin carjacking that I heard you talking about a little bit earlier.
Okay.
She did exactly the right thing. She got out of the car. She just bolted and ran. Tragically, I believe it was the father talking about the woman earlier at the ATM. She did the wrong thing, and the father mentioned that. She tried to hold on to something. Give up the property. Be the most willing, compliant robbery victim this jerk has had all day. Then bolt and run, just like Robin did.
So you don't want to try and talk them out of whatever they're...
Don't try to talk and beg your way out of it. You know something, it's a little bit like being a cop who stops someone for a traffic ticket. By the time the cop gets to your window, he's decided whether he's going to give you a ticket or not. It was that way with me. It's the same way with a crook. They decide what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. And they commit additional crimes according to their opportunity. Let me give you a very quick example of what Robin made the right move at the right time. She's alive, and most important, she wasn't taken to another spot. Let's just turn it around. Robin's example. Let's say she struggled. She resisted the person. He got into the car.
there was two of them, remember? He reaches over, he unlocks the door, lets his partner in. Then they sandwich her in. That's called, in law enforcement language, sandwiching her in, and they're out of there. Now they have the car, and they've got Robin, too. Crime scene number 1 is where they first put a gun into Robin's face, dragged her out of the car or anyone else. When they take her away, that's where I call crime scene number 2. This is the bottom line.
That's it.
If your viewers walk away, click you off after this program and get nothing else, I ask them to get this. Never let them move you.
Sanford
True
Strong.
thieves will never take you to another spot. When you're taken to crime scene number 2, an isolated spot, it's the end of the line.
They kill you. Okay. Very important. Sanford Strong, thank you. Great tips.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I think possibly the best information there is consider the possibility may exist no matter where you are. I was robbed at knife point by a couple of people a few years ago, and as a consequence of that, and willingly gave up my property, as a consequence of that, whenever I'm anywhere that might be a compromising situation, like walking from in a mall parking lot or a garage or something like that, I'm constantly looking around and I'm looking for an avenue of escape.
You have to be aware of your surroundings at all times, even when you think you're in the safest place possible. Even in your home, you have to have a plan.
Have a plan, give up your property, escape.
Right.
Good tips. So many people have been victims of crime. We'd like to hear from you today. Give us a call. Tell us the ways you protect yourself against crime. The number is 900-680-0101. Each call costs 75 cents a minute. You must be 18 or older to call us. We will play some of your thoughts on our show tomorrow.
Next, live on Day and Date, a rare operation to separate twins. We're in the OR as it happens. Plus, she found the love of her life twice, a remarkable story of amnesia and marriage. And the Kathy Lee sweatshop controversy heats up as one worker tells all about the brutality inside.
Who lies inside of you? When you color your hair with Ultras, there's no limit to who you can be, because Ultras is no ordinary color. It's the ultimate color. Ultras lets me express my inner self. Or maybe I should say self.
Ultras from Clairol, for color that can only come from color maximizing gel.
Feel the power of color.
Give me some of that fire. Shine some more over my way. 'Cause then the sunshine begins and the clouds roll away.
Now Kool-Aid gives them something new to smile about.
Give me some of that fire.
It's strawberry kiwi flavor, tropical fruity fun, and always with vitamin C.
Give me some of that smile.
We wanted you to meet News 3 This Morning's newest reporter.
We wanted her to tell you how fast Skycam 3 gets you to a breaking story.
First on the scene here, Brent. How her exclusive live reports bring you coverage you can count on.
believe these pictures, Pat. And how being the only reporter in the air means you get more than just the picture. You get the whole story.
There's a major story. Well, we wanted her to tell you, and she will, just as soon as we get her. We're on our way to Come Back Down.
Robin Rieger and Skycam 3, only on News 3 This Morning.
Will calling this number bring your family true happiness? You bet it will. Because nothing's more fun than a Busch Gardens Williamsburg Water Country USA Thrills and Spills getaway. And what could make you happier than getting 3-day unlimited visits to both parks, plus 2 nights hotel accommodations, all for only $364 for a family of 4. So why wait? True happiness is just around the corner. Call 1-800-475-9999 to book your Thrills and Spills getaway today.
Surgeons in Loma Linda, California today are sending conjoined twins their separate ways. Tiny Shauna and Janelle Roderick were attached at birth, but thanks to a medical miracle, these two won't have to live as one.
I know that the best will happen for them. They're in the best care here.
Michelle and Jeff Roderick's daughters were born facing each other. Today, a 15-member surgical team at Loma Linda University Medical Center was hoping to separate the two little girls as close as sisters can be. Shauna and Janelle were born May 1st, attached at the abdomen and sharing liver tissue.
This delivery was truly awesome. It was truly awe-inspiring.
And while the surgery to separate them sounds complicated and risky, the chief surgeon was confident.
We think we can close the defects without too much trouble.
And so were their parents when we spoke to them the day after their daughters were born.
If it has to be this way, then this is the best scenario for it.
But separating twins is never a sure thing. This past January at a San Diego hospital, surgeons worked for 6 hours to separate Sarah and Sarahi Morales. Sarah lived, but Sarahi's weak heart gave out.
Patients do die. And you just do the best you can. You give them everything you can and hope for the best.
Today, Sarah Morales is happy and home from the hospital, a large scar, a remnant of the surgery. And right now, doctors at another San Diego hospital are deciding when and how to separate Javier and Roman Marino, born just 2 weeks ago, joined at the chest and upper abdomen. So far, the boys are said to be in good health.
She got, enough to keep her happy.
As for the Rodricks, it's been a 4-week roller coaster with their twin girls.
It's very frustrating to try and feed them. I mean, it's not easy. Sometimes it takes 3 people, trying to control heads and mouths and feet and hands.
And not only feeding time is different. The girls have custom-made clothes, and a special cushion keeps them upright at the same time. Somehow, the twins have learned to live together.
Occasionally, say, for instance, Janelle starts screaming or whatever, Shauna will go like this, but she's very patient with her sister and vice versa. They can actually, one can sleep through the other one screaming, which is amazing to me.
For Janelle and Shauna, the hope was tonight they'd finally be able to sleep in separate cribs.
We now have with us Dr. Gibbs Andrews, who headed the pediatric surgery team. He joins us live from Loma Linda University Medical Center. Dr. Andrews, how are the twins doing now?
They're very stable, Patrick.
And how did the surgery go? Any complications?
Well, no. We did have some sort of minor surprises in dividing the liver, and we sort of had to be very meticulous or basically take our time. And once we had the liver divided, then both twins became very stable, and they've remained so now for, at least an hour.
And how are the parents doing? Have they had a chance to see the girls?
No, I just talked to them, though.
And how are they doing?
The parents are doing very well. Of course, they're very relieved, and, as you would expect, especially the mother was very anxious, but, and there are lots of relatives with the family, so it's a special time for them.
And what is the prognosis, Dr. Andrews? How long will they be recovering, do you guess?
Well, the first few days are very critical. We will have to watch them very close for cardiovascular stability. One twin, especially the twin on their right, is prone to sudden deterioration, so we'll be watching both of them very carefully. But we anticipate release from the hospital in about 2 weeks.
Dr. Gibbs Andrews, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you, Patrick.
That's just incredible news, and we will keep everyone posted on the progress of the twins.
Next, live on Day and Date, it's a real wedding days as a woman with amnesia finds the love of her life again. Plus, they have a burning desire to fight fire, meet some life-saving men and women. And the Prince and Princess peck for the camera. We'll tell you about their royal kiss.
I'll check it out. You need suspension work. Better see the experts at Meineke. Meineke doesn't just do mufflers and brakes. They do complete undercar care. Shocks, struts, and CV joints.
At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot, but you'll get a lot.
I guarantee it.
9% above prime, 7% above prime. Why pay interest rates so high above the prime rate when PMC offers variable rates as low as 0.5% below prime? Pay off costly bills and have one lower monthly payment. Bills now totaling $1,000 a month could drop to $600. PMC approves nearly 90% of completed applications. So whatever your credit history, call 1-800-DIAL-PMC. The right call for a great rate.
She wants to play.
Can't with this
pain.
Time for Icy Hot, huh? Icy and Hot therapy for pain. Icy to dull pain in seconds. Hot to relax it away for hours. Pain's gone, huh?
What?
Icy and Hot therapy for pain.
Want to really turn heads this summer? Start with Sun-In or new Sun-In for men. Natural-looking highlights you control. New conditioners for a silkier shine. See what we mean? Sun-In, highlights that get you noticed.
Hey, it's me, American Appliance, talking about my biggest and best superstore yet in Berlin, New Jersey.
He's got what we want.
Now I've got even more of what you want. More top-name brands at guaranteed low prices.
They gotta be low.
Plus, trained sales help and my famous fast delivery and installation.
We're believers.
Would you believe there's more, like in-home service and extended warranties?
Are you talking to me?
Yep, about the biggest saving selection and service around. From me, American Appliance, the neighborhood superstore, now in Berlin, New Jersey.
Folks, did you know there's one tool that fixes all your undercar service needs? Yep, introducing the Meineke credit card. There's no annual fee, and you don't need to make a payment for 90 days. When it comes to convenience, this card is the champ. I guarantee it.
Next on Day and Date.
Amazing TV. Her sexy poster brought a teen back to life. Now this Baywatch beauty is going to show him the time of his life. The amazing story of a boy and his dream date.
Give us 1 hour.
And we'll give you another Day and Date to remember tomorrow. Now here's a really remarkable story about love, destiny, and triumph in the most adverse situation. It's the story of Kim and Cricket, a couple so meant to be together that nothing could keep them apart, not even a serious case of amnesia.
When I look at the old pictures, I don't have any feelings or emotions about them. It's like I'm watching a friend in a picture, because I don't know what the girl in the picture is thinking or feeling, because I have no memory of what that girl went through.
It should have been the happiest day of Cricket Carpenter's life. Her wedding day. Husband Kim was a dream come true, but this dream was about to become a nightmare. Cricket was struck with amnesia. All her memories of this perfect day faded away. This bizarre story began in 1993, 2 months after Cricket and Kim's wedding. The newlyweds were in a devastating car crash. Cricket given only a slim chance to survive.
When I first saw her, I couldn't believe it. Her head was swollen. They had her on a manual respirator, rushing her to the helicopter, and no response. I mean, everything was just, you know, she was not a living being.
Cricket spent weeks in a coma. Kim by her side, praying for his wife to wake up, never expecting what was about to happen.
The actual time when she came out of the coma, and they asked her, you know, who she's married to, and she said, "I'm not married." It was crushing. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Cricket's amnesia wiped out her short-term memory. She remembered growing up, high school, her parents, even college, but not her husband, Kim.
Anything a year and a half prior to the car accident was erased, and that's when I met my husband.
Cricket endured months of intense physical therapy. Kim never losing hope that his wife would remember their past.
And, you know, I made a vow before God, and until death do us part, and I wasn't about to leave.
Determined to win back his bride, Kim started dating Cricket all over again.
We had date night, and many nights I took it serious. And, you know, she just took it, you know, like an everyday thing. But, you know, we'd go out to dinner 2 or 3 times a week and go to a movie or even drive to Santa Fe.
I didn't know my husband, so I had to reacquaint myself with him. So it was time for us just to spend time together and get to know one another. And I figured I loved him before I would re-meet this person that I was married to once before.
They were fated. Cupid's arrow struck again. Earlier this year, Kim popped the big question again.
On Valentine's Day, he came into my office, got down on his knees, and asked me to marry him again. He gave me roses.
How do I look?
Last weekend, more than 2 years after their tragic accident, Kim and Cricket tied the knot again.
I'm excited to put my dress on again. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through my vows. Bawling. There's no reason to dwell on the past and get upset about that. I just need to go on and look at the positive, that I'm alive and that I've had a miraculous recovery.
There's a message in this whole thing. In a time of violence, in a time of crime and domestic violence, and in a horrible, sinful society, there's hope.
Friends and family, it is truly my privilege and my pleasure to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Kim J.
Oh. Well, Kim and Cricket are honeymooning in Hawaii, which is where they spent their first honeymoon. Their incredible story is being turned into a movie script, sort of a When Harry Met Sally Met Harry Again kind of movie.
Coming up, live on Day and Date, we're at the star-studded send-off as E.T.'s big man steps down.
Holding out on cellular? Come on, get activated right now with Comcast Metrophone and pay no activation fee. Plus, save another $45 on your first 3 months access. Now just $9.99 a month. Sign up by May 31st and save $90 plus free weekend long distance. Let's all go to a Comcast Metrophone dealer or call this number. Get activated free with Comcast Metrophone and put something in your ear this summer besides mosquitoes.
It's Sesame Place News. For our top stories, we go to...
Sports and new Flying Shoots. They're facing a strong offense.
Scram,
beat it. But I predict these kids will go all the way.
Sliding over the weather.
Perfect sky splash day. The forecast is...
Elmo says wet, wet, wet. More Sesame Place News to come.
Smile, Bert.
Wait, there's more. Will somebody cut to a commercial?
It's our 20th anniversary, and at Chi-Chi's, we're busting loose with more fun than you can shake a stick at. All for just $5.99. There'll be free chips and salsa, incredible drinks, and our gift to you, the El Grande Burrito, chicken or beef, for just $5.99. So hurry into Chi-Chi's for our 20th anniversary celebration.
It was a day they dared to dream of. A day when Charles Allen and his family would move into their very own home. It was a HUD home, one of hundreds HUD has for people with dreams, but not a lot of money. Some for as little as 3% down. Ask a real estate agent about HUD homes, because it's your turn to own a piece of America.
Now, live, more of Day and Date. Some heroes who like it hot. Hear from firefighting lifesavers. This is Day and Date for Thursday, May 30, 1996. Live from New York City with Dana King and Patrick Van Horn.
They are the men and women who rush into burning buildings, battle out-of-control blazes, and tackle the most scorching situations to save your life.
Firefighters are often the unsung heroes of the world, but a new book gives us an intimate look inside the lives of these brave saviors.
Lawyers, doctors, now make room for LA firefighters. What could be the hottest new drama on TV? The real ones live that drama every day.
When the building caught on fire, I had my hand under I handed her a flashlight and my coat to keep the water off her, and she squeezed my hand and said, please don't leave me.
San Francisco firefighter Jerry Shannon didn't leave. He spent 2.5 hours rescuing a woman from this blaze after the 1989 earthquake.
There it goes, there it goes.
A hellish scene, a scene firefighters confront day in and day out.
When your world is completely turned upside down and everything seems to be crashing in around you, we're the guys that come in and try and make it right.
Make it right they do, pulling off thousands of dramatic rescues like this one every year.
Any city in America, you call certain people, they may show up or they may not. You call a fireman,
guaranteed he's there in 4 minutes.
The fiery horror in the movie Backdraft may seem surreal, but it is only too real for these guys.
Engine!
The adrenaline begins pumping long before the water does. When the call comes in, veteran firefighter Jerry Shannon sprints into action.
There's nothing more exciting or rewarding. I couldn't even think about doing anything else.
This time, there are no flames, no one to rescue, no risk. Shannon and more than 100 other firefighters talk about their lives in a new book, The Fire Inside.
Everybody, once they get in it, says the biggest rush is saving a life. There's nothing like it. They compare it to your first child being born.
New York's Harry Wanamaker now works a fireboat, but the moment he will never forget was on land, saving a young boy from an apartment fire.
He started breathing, and I got all teary. I got teary-eyed. And that was the high point of my whole career.
They're dead when we arrive and up and talking to us, well, sitting up and talking to us when we deliver them to the hospital. That's the charge.
Then there are the devastating lows, the people who couldn't be saved, the firefighters who lose their lives trying.
I think for your own mental health, you've got to walk out the door and leave it behind, not think about it.
But sometimes it's impossible not to think about it. A mother and 6 children died in this fire, allegedly set by their father. A tough day for firefighters.
It's very easy for them to project their child into that little corpse on the floor.
And Captain Foley says the real heroes are firefighters' families. His wife sweated it out while her husband worked the Los Angeles riots.
Turns on the news and lo and behold, there I am.